Hi everyone, it's Nisha here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So it's day 18 of the 30-day challenge. And today I wanted to relate a little bit about an incident that's happened to us today. And I think it just highlights the importance of having a good relationship with your neighbours, and how does that affect running a service accommodation and the impact it has on the neighbours. So to start with, I've had a meeting today with one of the neighbour, based on the fact that she's constantly clashing with our guests over the fact that where she's parking, she can't come out. The guests are blocking her in. But unfortunately, where she's parking is a public road, and where the guests are parking is also a public road. So it's not a designated parking area, and they are not advised to park there. They are advised to park in the designated area. However, we recommend them to park there. But we can't actually stop them parking at the front of the property. Now, from a convenience point of view, I can see why they would want to park at the front of the property, because it's easier for them to carry their stuff in and out of the property every single day when they're going to work. But from the neighbor point of view, I can also see how her parking in front of her property would be also quite convenient, because she's got kids, so that allows her to go in and out very quickly. However, the situation is getting out of hand because she's getting quite annoyed with the people. She's having argument with them, and obviously that's affecting our reviews. She was quite adamant that we're not advising the guests to park at the back, which we were. So anyway, we had a meeting today and we hope to try and resolve it. But that's highlight to us the importance of having really good relationship with all our neighbors. Now, most of the time we do know all our neighbors and they've got our contact number. One of my housekeeper is amazing. She is there all the time, so she always see the neighbors, she always talk to them, she always give her number out to them if there's any problem, so they can call her and she can look into it. So she's amazing like that, and I appreciate not everybody's got somebody like that. I'm so glad or so grateful to have her. She's like the unsung heroes in our company, and to be honest, she has been recognized for it and she got an award for it, which is amazing. I'm so proud of her. So she always goes and talks to them, and we always have a really good relationship with all our neighbours. But when it comes to the guest behaviour, that's where it has an impact on the neighbours. Now, if you're going into service accommodation or you are already in service accommodation, you really need to understand how running a service accommodation in a residential area will affect your neighbours around you. And it's very important for you to understand that, because if you understand that, then you're able to understand where they're coming from, but you're also able to preempt some of the problems and hopefully be able to find solution for them, whether it's giving clear detailed descriptions of what the guest is allowed or not allowed to do, instructions where to park, not to park, where to go. All these little things will make a massive difference to your neighbours if you're actually trying to make it as much as possible less annoying for them that you're currently running a service accommodation in a residential area. Now, why are they annoyed? Let's try and understand that. It's a residential area. They want to know the people that's staying around them. They want to feel safe with the people that's staying around them. If you're running a service accommodation, they never know who's sleeping next door to them. And obviously, if you are in the leisure industry, well, if you're in a service accommodation, you're running your accommodation for people to come and stay on holiday. They're likely to have a party, not a big party, but they're likely to have fun. They're there with their friends and family, likely to have drinks and more likely to make a lot more noise that they would normally do at home. So obviously that will have an impact on your next door neighbor, especially if it's like a semi-detached house or a terrace house. You're going to have that problem where they can actually hear your guests. So you have to be conscious of that and you have to be mindful of that. There's obviously going to be more traffic around. Maybe that's not something that they want. A lot of cars coming up and down the road. Not necessarily good behaviors around. They might have a lot of drink and start shouting and screaming on the street. They might be singing loud. Not that they're doing anything offensive, but if it was you, would you like to be staying next to an Airbnb where they're making a lot of noise, I'm sure you wouldn't. So it's the same situation with the guests, but how do you actually try to preempt that and help with that? So I think number one is to build a relationship so you know them and they know you. They also have a contact number. If they have a contact number, they're more likely to call you and say there's a problem rather than going anywhere else. And if they do report there's a problem, it's better for you, for your business, because you can actually go out and stop that from getting even worse. Because let's assume there was a party at 7 o'clock, party kicks off, music is loud. 11 o'clock, they've not turned the music down. Now, that's going to go all night. Obviously, will annoy them. So if they report it, you can go and speak to the guests and get them to stop it straight away and get them to leave. But if you don't know about it, then you'll turn up the next day and you'll most probably have a property that's been smashed, drinks everywhere. So you want to try and avoid that. And the only way to avoid that is either you have detectors, noise detectors in your property. That will help you because you will know when there's a party happening. If you don't have that, then your neighbour is the next person that is going to be ideal for you, because they would get annoyed with the noise and they will contact you. So it's very important to build that good relationship. Now, let's say you have a party and you want to kick them out. You would think that calling the police will be the first thing you would do. It doesn't always work like that. We've tried that in the past, actually. The police doesn't always want to come and get involved in business matters unless there's a risk to somebody's life, somebody's been offensive, abusive, then obviously they will come out and they will try and limit the risk of you not being safe. So they will do that. But if you just want to come and ask people just to leave because you don't want them to, they might not want to allow this to happen. So it's very important for you to look at it and try and put measures in place that minimize the problems around you having that service accommodation. If it's parking, make sure you're very clear, you have designated parking area. If it's access, make sure it's very clear so they don't end up going to the next door neighbours. Even things like knowing which property it is, because although you know which property you're sending them to, there's a house number, but at night it might be dark and they might not see it. So make sure you think about all these things and you plan it so it makes it easier. So they're not going at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, knocking on the next door neighbours because they've decided that they can't check in at 9 o'clock, so they're going to check in at 11 o'clock. So you want to try and avoid all these problems by trying to be as clear, as informed as possible so the guests know what they're doing. I hope you have found this useful. If you have, just give me a like or a comment so at least I will know what sort of contents you're looking for. Have a nice day, everyone. Take care. Bye.